Hello, welcome to The World Today on CGTN live from Beijing. I'm Pan Zheng. The 20th CPC Central Committee is briefing the media on the guiding principles from its fourth plenary session, which concluded on Thursday in Beijing. Now let's cross live to the scene.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades, friends from the media, good morning. Welcome to the press conference of the Central Committee of the CPC. From October the 20th to the 23rd, the 20th CPC Central Committee convened its fourth plenary session in Beijing. This plenary session is an important one, held at a critical moment when China is about to accomplish the main objectives and tasks in the 14th Five-Year Plan and enter the stage of solidifying the foundation and making all-out efforts for basically realizing socialist modernization. The session deliberated over and adopted the recommendations of the Central Committee for formulating the 15th Five-Year Plan for economic and social development and concluded all agenda items. Today, we have leading officials from relevant departments to brief you on the session and explain the guiding principles and take your questions. We have with us Mr. Jiang Jinquan, Director of the Policy Research Office of the CPC Central Committee, Mr. Han Wenxiu, Deputy Director in charge of routine work of the Office of the Central Financial and Economic Affairs Commission, Director of the Office of the Central Rural Work Leading Group, Mr. Zheng Shanjie, Chairman of the National Development and Reform Commission, Mr. Yin He-jun, Minister of Science and Technology, Mr. Wang Wentao, Minister of Commerce, and Mr. Lei Haichao, Minister of the National Health Commission. Now I'll give the floor to Mr. Jiang Jinquan to give you an overview of the session and also on the drafting of the documents. Friends from the media, good morning. It is a great pleasure to give you information on the fourth plenary session. The session was held in Beijing from October the 20th to the 23rd. The Political Bureau of the Central Committee presided over the session. General Secretary Xi Jinping delivered important addresses. Members and alternate members of the Central Committee attended the session. Members of the Standing Committee of the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection and the leading officials from relevant departments were present at the meeting in a non-voting capacity, and the colleagues from grassroots level and experts and scholars who served as delegates to the 20th National Congress also were present at the meeting in a non-voting capacity. The session listened to and discussed the report on the work of the Political Bureau, deliberated over and adopted the recommendations for formulating the 15th Five-Year Plan for Economic and Social Development. It successfully concluded all agenda items. At the session, the Central Committee fully recognized the work of the Political Bureau since the third plenary session. It was unanimously agreed that facing the complex international environment and the formidable tasks of reform, development, and stability at home, the Political Bureau of the Central Committee earnestly implemented the guiding principles of the 20th CPC National Congress and the plenary sessions of the 20th Central Committee, while accomplishing four tasks, coordinated the major undertakings of the party and country, and sustained the rebound of the economy, and the main objectives and tasks of the 14th Five-Year Plan will soon be accomplished. We're making solid strides in Chinese modernization. The most important outcome of the session is the adoption of the recommendations. The sound formulation and the continuous implementation of five-year plans is an important piece of experience in our party's governance of the country. And it is also an important political strength. And this practice is truly admired by foreign political parties. we have set up the goal of basically achieving socialist modernization by 2035. The 15th five-year plan period is a critical period of building a solid foundation and intensifying efforts across the board. To formulate the recommendations for the 15th five-year plan and make systematic arrangements for economic and social development during the 15th five-year plan is needed for realizing the grand blueprint of the 20th CPC National Congress and advancing Chinese modernization in phases. It is needed for effectively tackling the new changes in the complex and severe external environment and winning strategic initiative in fierce international competition. It is also needed for advancing high-quality development in keeping with the requirements of China's development at the current stage. In a word, it is of great significance. The drafting of the recommendations was led by the Party Central Committee. General Secretary Xi Jinping personally headed the drafting team and gave personal guidance and instructions, playing a decisive role. The drafting team earnestly implemented the important instructions from General Secretary Xi Jinping, stuck to the right direction and people's position, grasped the overall goals, enhanced strategic planning, and paid particular attention to making the formulation a democratic process of pooling wisdom and building consensus. We have two rounds of soliciting views altogether. The first one is that on January the 22nd this year, the Central Committee issued a notice soliciting opinions on the recommendations of the 15th five-year plan. In May, General Secretary Xi Jinping gave important instructions on the formulation and stressed that the decision-making needs to be sound, democratic, and law-based. And it is important to heed the opinions and suggestions from the people across different sectors and take in the fresh experience from practice. General Secretary Xi Jinping led by example. He personally chaired 2 symposiums to listen to the opinions from leading officials from 7 provinces, municipalities and autonomous regions, and non-CPC members, and entrusted Premier Li Qiang to chair 3 symposiums to listen to the opinions from people from the economic sector, the science and technology community, and the primary level representatives. From May to June, relevant departments organized a month-long opinion soliciting event online, which is open to the public, and received over 3.113 million valid suggestions. But the second round was that on August the 4th, the Party Central Committee circulated the draft recommendations among all regions, departments, and relevant departments to solicit opinions, and received 2,112 pieces of revision opinions. After careful study, the drafting team took in 452 pieces, accounting for 21.4% of the total received. It is fair to say that the drafting of the recommendations is another vivid example of the whole process of people's democracy. And it demonstrates that the firm political position of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, respecting the people's principal role in history, doing everything for the people, and relying closely on the people. The recommendations will be published soon. It contains 61 articles in 15 parts. It has 3 sections. The section 1 is the overview, explaining China's major achievements during the 14th five-year plan period, the significance and overall requirements of ensuring good economic and social development during the 15th five-year plan period. The second section contains thematic sections, making arrangements for the strategic tasks and major measures during the 15th five-year plan period across different areas. The third section is about upholding and strengthening the centralized, unified leadership of the CPC Central Committee and advancing socialist democracy and rule of law. During the plenary session, the participants had lively discussions and spoke highly of it. It was unanimously agreed that the recommendations is yet another important guiding document in the history of the party. It has sound and targeted guiding principles, clearly defined development objectives, and down-to-earth and practical tasks and short-term measures. It is another overall arrangement and a call to action for building on the momentum and continually advancing Chinese modernization, and is bound to have major and far-reaching impact on the undertakings of our party and country. With that, I conclude my opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zhang Jingqian, and I give the floor to Mr. Han Wenxiu, who will focus on the main objectives of the 15th Five-Year Plan and the agricultural sector. Good morning. The recommendations on the 15th Five-Year Plan, adopted at the 4th plenary session, was based on an accurate understanding of China's development stage and a deep analysis of the international and domestic situations. It laid down the guiding principles and the main objectives for socio-economic development in the 15th Five-Year Plan period, drew a blueprint for China's development in the next 5 years, and charted the course for Chinese modernization going forward. Let me present some key aspects of the recommendations. First, on the overall judgment of the environment for China's development in the 15th Five-Year Plan period. The recommendations stress that major countries' relations moves the international situation, and the changes in the international situation profoundly impacts development in China. China is currently in a phase of development where strategic opportunities exist alongside risks and challenges, while uncertainties and unforeseen factors are rising. On the international front, the world is going through accelerated transformation not seen in a century, and the international balance of power is undergoing profound adjustments. China enjoys many favorable factors in taking the initiative of engagements in the international space and shaping its external environment. Meanwhile, volatilities are rising in a changing and turbulent world. Major country competition is becoming more complex and intense. Instability and uncertainty are increasing in the external environment, and risks and challenges are growing. But there is always opportunity in crisis, and crisis can be turned into opportunity. We must carry forward a spirit of historic initiative, overcome the tough obstacles, confront the risks, and meet the challenges to ensure steady and sustained progress in Chinese modernization. On the domestic front, the Chinese economy is on solid foundations, demonstrating advantages in many areas, strong resilience, and great potential. The conditions and underlying trends supporting long-term growth remain unchanged. In the 15th Five-Year Plan period, we will both build on the current momentum and tackle challenges head-on. We will fully leverage the strength and favorable factors of socialism with China's characteristics, China's enormous market, its complete industrial system, and its abundant human resources, and turn the strength into real progress in high-quality development. Second, on the guiding principles for socio-economic development in the 15th Five-Year Plan period. The recommendations stress that we must fully implement Xi Jinping's thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era, move toward the second centenary goal of building China into a great modern socialist country in all respects, and advance national rejuvenation on all fronts through Chinese modernization, implement the five-sphere integrated plan and the four-pronged comprehensive strategy in a coordinated way, fully and faithfully apply the new development philosophy on all fronts, and move faster to create a new development paradigm. The recommendations laid down requirements that can be summarized in 5 pursues, 2 promotes, and 1 secure. That is, we must pursue economic development as our central task, with high-quality development as our main focus, reform and innovation as the fundamental driving force, meeting the people's growing needs for a better life as our fundamental goal, and full and rigorous party self-governance as the fundamental underpinning for all our efforts. We must promote higher quality economic growth while achieving appropriate increase in economic output, and make solid headway in promoting well-rounded personal development and common prosperity for all. We must secure decisive progress toward basically achieving socialist modernization. The recommendations established 6 guiding principles for socio-economic development during the 15th Five-Year Plan period. That is, upholding the party's overall leadership, putting the people first, pursuing high-quality development, comprehensively deepening reform, promoting interplay between an efficient market and a well-functioning government, and ensuring both development and security. The guiding philosophy and principles of the recommendations are consistent with those of the several 5-year plans before. It has maintained maintain continuity and stability and stay up to date on the basis of adhering to the fundamental principles. It is a theoretically rich document that provides key strategic guidance. Third, on the major objectives for socio-economic development in the 15th five-year plan period. During this period, we have the following main objectives. First, significant achievements in high-quality development. We'll keep economic growth in reasonable range, notably increase household consumption and fully unleash growth potential. Second, substantial improvements in scientific and technological self-reliance and strength. We will strive for quick breakthroughs in key areas and critical core technologies and deeply integrate technological innovation and industrial innovation. Third, fresh breakthroughs in further deepening reform comprehensively. We will further improve the system of socialist market economy and strengthen the institutions for high standard opening up. Fourth, notable cultural and ethical progress across society. We will firm up confidence in our culture and continually strengthen our soft power. Fifth, further improvements in quality of life. We will score new progress in high-quality full employment, improve the structure of distribution, and significantly increase equitable access to basic public services. Sixth, major new strides in advancing the Beautiful China initiative. We will meet the carbon peaking targets on schedule and keep reducing the total emission of major pollutants. Seventh, further advances in strengthening the national security shield. We will effectively prevent and resolve risks in key spheres. These objectives are both inspiring and feasible. We believe that in the next 5 years, China's composite national strength, including hard power and soft power, will continue to grow, and our international standing will continue to rise. The people will live a happier and better life. In order to achieve a basic modernization in 2035, our efforts in these 5 years will lay a solid foundation. As a customary practice, the objectives in the recommendations are mainly qualitative. The specific numeric targets will be laid out in the outline of the 15th five-year plan. I'd like to take this opportunity to especially talk about the plan to accelerate agricultural and rural modernization and advance all-round rural revitalization. Agricultural and rural modernization concerns the overall picture and quality of Chinese modernization and is the biggest weak link that needs to be shored up on a priority basis. The recommendation requires placing issues related to agricultural, rural areas and rural residents at the top of the party's agenda, promoting integrated urban-rural development and securing faster progress in building up China's strength in agriculture. First, we should enhance the overall production capacity, quality, and performance of agriculture. We should highlight both output and capacity, both production and ecology, and both increase of output and increase of income. We will seek progress in technological agriculture, green agriculture, quality agriculture, and branded agriculture, and turn China's agriculture into a great modern sector. We will seek to do a good job in both protection of arable land and technological innovation to ensure that the rice bowls of the Chinese people are held firmly and steadily in our own hands. Second, we should ensure that policies aimed at strengthening agriculture, benefiting farmers, and achieving rural prosperity deliver greater outcomes. We will strengthen a structure of diverse importing that include priority fiscal and financing support as well as participation of the private sector to consolidate the results of poverty alleviation. Third, building a beautiful and harmonious countryside for people to live and work in. We will leverage the experience we gained from the 1,000 Village Demonstration Project and advance rural revitalization with a category-based, orderly and zoning approach. We will make solid efforts to crack the issues like toilet renovation, waste handling, and other issues to gradually make rural infrastructure more complete, public services more convenient, and the living environment more comfortable, so that the rural areas are basically equipped with modern living conditions and the countryside becomes a quality living space. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Han Wenxiu. I now give the floor to Mr. Zheng Shanjie to brief you about the industry, market, and regional development. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Good morning, everyone. The recommendations made a comprehensive plan on socio-economic development in the next 5 years, and I will now focus on industry, market, and regional development. First, on industry, our purpose is to build a modernized industrial system. The Chinese economy relied on the real economy to take off. It will also rely on the real economy to embrace the future. The recommendations has set out to build a modernized industrial system and reinforce the foundations of the real economy, and it's placed as the #1 place in our strategic tasks. 4 areas of priority tasks are being laid down. We can understand them with 4 key phrases: consolidation and upgrade, innovation cultivation, quality improvement, and the foundation enforcement. Consolidation and upgrade means to upgrade traditional industries. The traditional industries are the underlying base of China's industrial system. It accounts for about 80% of added value in the manufacturing sector. The recommendations proposed upgrading key industries, consolidating and strengthening the standing and global competitiveness of our chemical industry, machinery, and shipmaking sectors, and develop advanced manufacturing clusters. This will accelerate the transition from an accumulation of quantity to an upgrade of quality. Our initial estimation is that in the next 5 years, there will be a more than 10 trillion yuan market space. Innovation and create more benefits to the people and society. Innovation cultivation is to foster emerging industries and future industries. In 2024, the 3 new economies accounted for more than 18% of China's GDP. The recommendations proposed the cluster development of strategic emerging industries, including new energy, new materials, aviation and aerospace, and low-altitude economy. This will give rise to several trillion yuan level or even larger-scale markets. The recommendation also proposed making forward-looking plans for future industries and foster new growth, economic growth points, like quantum technology, biomanufacturing, hydrogen energy and nuclear fusion energy, brain-computer interface, embodied intelligence, 6th-generation mobile communication, and others. These industries are ready to take off. It means that in the next 10 years, we will build another or even several more high-tech industries in China. And this will inject continuous impetus to our efforts to achieve Chinese modernization. Quality improvement means to promote high-quality, efficient development of the services sector. There is huge space for this to happen in the services sector. The recommendations proposed expanding the capacity and upgrading the quality of the services sector and better integrating modern services with advanced manufacturing and modern agriculture. This will speed up the reshaping of economic ecology and better meet the needs of the people for a better life. It has opened up new space for economic growth, yet another enormous market in China. Foundation reinforcement means to build a modernized infrastructure system. China already has the world's biggest infrastructure network of high-speed rail, expressways, ports, postal delivery, electricity, and broadband connection. The recommendation proposed strengthening the coordination and plans of infrastructure development and front-load the building of new type of infrastructure as appropriate and improve the system of modern comprehensive transport. We will also better leverage the development of Belt and Road Initiative to ensure that infrastructure will play a strong supporting role for our development. Second, we will build a robust domestic market. The economies of major countries are all driven by domestic demand, and the market is the most scarce resource in today's world. A strong domestic demand is a strategic underpinning for Chinese modernization. The recommendation proposed expanding the domestic market as our strategic base. In order to achieve that, we will focus on three key areas. First, expand the increased market. We will focus on both boosting domestic demand and consumption, and invest both in human capital and physical asset. We will seek upgrade in the consumption of goods and services, and increase the participation of private sector in the major project development. Second, improving the efficiency. The expansion of consumption will continue to drive the Chinese economy in an upward trend. Second, increase in efficiency. The fixed asset investment in China has exceeded 50 trillion yuan. But the task of benefiting the people, showing up weak links, and fostering driving force remains arduous. Particularly, it is important to spend government fund at the most needed areas and on the life of the people. To this end, the recommendations proposed improving the structure of government investment, increasing the investment ratio in livelihood-related fields, and better use all kinds of government investments, so as to ensure full process management of government investment. The leverage role of government investment will increase the efficiency of overall investment. Third, smoothening the economic flow. Only when there is a unified big market can we have a smooth economic flow in the country. The negative list of China has been shortened from the 328 items in the past to 106 items now. 4,200 items that impede the flow of factors of production have been removed, but there are still many obstacles. The recommendations proposed unifying the rules for basic market institutions, breaking the fragmentation of regional protection and market fragmentation, and crack down on race-to-the-bottom competition. This will effectively remove the obstacles in the markets and release the benefits of the mega-sized market in China. Third, we will promote the coordinated regional development. Since the 18th Party Congress, General Secretary Xi Jinping made a series of new plans on the in-depth implementation of regional development strategies. In the 15th five-year plan period, we will consistently work on its implementation. The recommendations laid down 5 areas of key tasks. I think this can be summarized into 3 focuses. First, focus on improving the regional development landscape. The recommendations established 4 major blocks: the Eastern region, the Central region, the Western region, and Northwestern region. And the 3 major driving forces: the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei Delta, the Yangtze River Delta, and the Hong Kong, Guangdong, Macau Bay Area. And it is set out to make new progress in 2 green development belts along the Yangtze River and the Yellow River. Hard connections will be coordinated with soft connectivities, and there will be efforts to improve the layout of land distribution. The recommendation proposed strengthening the strategic implementation of the functioning role of different regions and improve strategic industries and energy resource bases. Third, we'll focus on the new type of urbanization. We'll vigorously advance a new type of urbanization with people at its center and vigorously upgrade the urban facilities. There will be enormous domestic demand unleashed from this effort. I give you an example. We expect to renovate more than 700,000 kilometers of underground pipelines and networks and increase investment of more than 5 trillion yuan. Third, we will focus on the coordination of the land and the sea. China's marine economy has exceeded 10 trillion yuan. The recommendations propose strengthening the utilization and protection of the marine resources and strengthening the restoration of the maritime ecology and firmly safeguarding our maritime rights and security. This will enhance our efforts to build a better maritime future. In the future, the NDRC will act on the plans of the CPC Central Committee, deliver on the guiding principles of the recommendations, draw up an outline as soon as possible, so that this is a high-quality plan that meets the expectations and leads to the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zheng Shanjie. Now I will give the floor to Mr. Yin Hejun to brief you about science and technology and innovation. Friends from the press, my opening remarks will focus on science-tech innovation and developing new quality productive forces. The 20th CPC Party Congress laid out the goal of building China into a strong country in science and technology, and the fourth plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee highlighted the importance of improving self-reliance and strength in science and technology and steered the development of new quality productive forces. This is a major strategic decision made by the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, on the basis of in-depth understanding of prevailing development trends at home and abroad, and a keen grasp of the rules of economic and social development. During the 14th five-year plan period, China's scientific capabilities have been brought to a new level. Fruitful outcomes of scientific innovation has been achieved, and steady progress made in the new quality productive forces development, laying a solid foundation for economic and social development in the 15th five-year plan period. In 2024, across society, R&D investment exceeded 3.6 trillion RMB yuan, up by 48% compared with 2020. In terms of the numbers of papers published in high-level international journals and international patent applications, China has ranked first in the world for 5 years running. China's composite innovation capacity ranking was elevated from the 14th in 2020 to the 10th in 2024. Technological and industrial innovation have been integrated deeply. The value added of large high-tech manufacturing increased by 42% compared with the end of the 13th five-year plan period in AI, new energy, biotechnology, and other frontier areas. New growth drivers are in the making. Scientific innovation has made the skies bluer and water clearer, provided better health guarantee, and brought greater sense of happiness and gain for the people. Looking ahead for the next 5 years, the recommendations highlighted that Chinese modernization must rely on scientific modernization. During the 15th five-year plan period, we will seize the historic opportunities of the new round of technological revolution and industrial transformation to boost China's strengths in education, science and technology, and human resources in a well-coordinated manner, improve the overall performance of China's innovation system, raise our innovation capacity across the board, promote greater self-reliance and strength in science and technology, and steer the development of new quality productive forces. The recommendations laid out plans from 4 aspects. First, promote advances in the regional innovation and breakthroughs in core technologies in key fields. We will improve the new system for mobilizing resources nationwide. Adopt a whole-of-chain approach so that in integrated circuits, industrial machine tools, high-end instruments, and other key fields, decisive breakthroughs will be made. We will prioritize national strategic needs and deploy and implement a number of major national scientific tasks. We will strengthen the strategic, forward-looking, and systemic planning of basic research, and scale up long-term, stable support. We will prioritize original innovation in researches and technological development, and produce more landmark, innovative outcomes. Second, promote greater synergy of technological and industrial innovation. We will develop national strategic scientific capabilities in a coordinated manner and enhance systemic capacity for technological breakthroughs. We will strengthen the guarantee of basic scientific conditions at home, improve regional innovation systems, move faster to effectively apply scientific outcomes, and better protect intellectual property rights. We will reinforce the principal role of enterprises in innovation, support enterprises in taking the initiative to form innovation consortium, and undertake more national tasks for technological breakthroughs. We will nurture leading high-tech enterprises, support new and high-tech businesses, and the development of scientific SMEs, and increase the proportion of R&D expenses eligible for weighted deduction. We will nurture a culture of innovation and foster a globally competitive and open innovation ecology. Third, make synergized progress in education, science and technology, and talent. We will put in place a coordination mechanism for synchronized advances and promote greater synergy in planning, policy, resources, and evaluation. We will cultivate talent to meet the needs of scientific innovation, industrial innovation, and national strategies, and speed up efforts to build a contingent of personnel with expertise of strategic importance. We will highlight innovation capacity, quality, results, and contribution in evaluation, and deepen the reform of project review, institute assessment, talent evaluation, and income distribution. Fourth, advance the Digital China initiative. We will develop an integrated digital market that is open, shared by all, and safe, and deepen the integration of real economy and digital economy. We will accelerate digital innovation in such fields as AI, ensure effective supply of computing resources, algorithm, and data. We will fully implement the AI Plus action to empower different sectors in an all-round manner. We believe that with our hard work in the following 5 years, China's scientific capabilities will be brought to a new high. And scientific innovation will steer the development of new quality productive forces and high quality development, providing stronger support to Chinese modernization. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yin Hejun. Now I will give the floor to Mr. Wang Wentao to brief you about opening up during the 15th five-year plan period. Friends from the press, good morning. I will give a brief opening remarks on opening remarks. There is a specific chapter in the communiqué of the plenum on expanding higher standard opening up. It shows that the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core attaches great importance to opening up and sends out the strong signal that China is committed to opening up and win-win cooperation. Let me share with you the following points. First, opening up is an important instrument to promote reform and development. Over the years, our reform and opening up has been mutually reinforcing. We have kept reducing barriers to the flow of factors at or beyond the border and steadily expanded institutional opening up. China leads the world in trading goods for 8 consecutive years, and its volume of trading services exceeded $1 trillion last year. We have completed, and China has been among the top 3 countries in terms of outbound investment. Higher standard opening up has become a robust driver for China's economic development. Second, opening up is a broad pathway to develop ourselves and contribute to the world. In 2024, China was the major trading partner of over 150 countries and regions. During the 14th five-year plan period, China's import of goods and services will be more than $15 trillion. China's outbound investment has been translated into over $300 billion of tax payments of recipient countries, created large amount of job opportunities, and contributed to local industrialization and modernization. Higher standard opening up has become a great cause that benefits both China and the wider world. Third, opening up is a resolute decision that is in line with the overall trend and will help us to sail forward. Despite the rise of unilateralism and protectionism, economic globalization remains the prevailing trend of history. China is firmly committed to expanding opening up. We have ensured continued success of the China International Import Expo, rolled out experiments for opening up in pilot free trade zones, and declared that as a responsible major developing country, China will not seek new special and differential treatment in current and future negotiations at the WTO. China has promoted opening up by all through its own opening up and injected certainty and positive energy to the world. As for the work related to the opening up in the 15th five-year plan period, the recommendations have laid out plans in four aspects. First, we will take the initiative to open wider. Our opening up meets both China's needs and the world's aspiration. We will take proactive steps to align with high standard international economic and trade rules, prioritize the service sector, and expand market access in areas of opening up. To enlarge the circle of friends in economy and trade, we will make faster progress in regional and bilateral trade and investment agreements and expand a network of high-standard free trade areas. We will build hubs of opening up and ensure successful pilot experiments. Second, we will promote innovative trade development. The recommendations laid out plans for the three pillars of turning China into a trader of equality, that is, trading goods in services and digital trade. In terms of trading goods, we will expand trading intermediate goods and green trade, promote market diversification and integration of domestic and foreign trade. In terms of trading services, we will improve the negative list system for cross-border trading services. In terms of digital trade, we will expand opening up in the digital sector in an orderly fashion. At the same time, we will better coordinate import and export to strike a balance between them. We will further increase import to meet the needs of industrial transformation and upgrading and people's aspiration for a better life. Third, we will broaden the space for two-way investment cooperation. We will burnish the credentials of investing China, forge new strengths in attracting foreign investment, ensure both market access and operational facilitation to foreign investors, and foster a transparent, stable, and predictable institutional and business environment. We will conduct effective management of outbound investment, improve the comprehensive service system overseas, and guide a reasonable and orderly cross-border layout of industrial and supply chains. We will take into account both GDP and GNI, emphasize both the Chinese economy and the economy of the Chinese. Fourth, we will promote high-quality Belt and Road cooperation. The BRI is not a one-man show, but a symphony. We will seek greater synergy of strategies with partner countries, advance major landmark projects, and small and beautiful livelihood programs in a coordinated manner, deepen practical trade, investment, industrial, and cultural cooperation, and expand green, digital, and AI cooperation, among others. General Secretary Xi Jinping underlined that we used to be followers in opening up. Now we need to be pace setters. We will ensure the implementation of the decisions and plans of the recommendations, further expand higher standard opening up, and broaden the space for Chinese modernization. I will stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wang Wentao. Now I'll have Mr. Lei Haichao to brief you on the healthcare and
population development during the 15th five-year plan period. Friends from the media, good morning. It is a great pleasure to brief you on the healthcare, public health, and population development. General Secretary Xi Jinping stressed that people's health is an important hallmark of socialist modernization. The 20th CPC National Congress set out the goal of building a healthy China by 2035. This is a historic task with a promising future. The third plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee identified the development strategy of putting health first, and this fourth plenary session made further arrangements on speeding up the development of healthy China and promoting high-quality population development. It fully demonstrates the great importance that the CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, attaches to people's health and high-quality population development. Friends, you may have seen that since the start of the 14th five-year plan period, we've made a lot of progress. We've put in place the world's largest health medical service system, disease prevention and control system, and healthcare system. During the 14th five-year plan period, we have weathered the COVID pandemic and created this miracle for a populous country to emerge from a major pandemic. People's lives have been improving. By 2024, China's average life expectancy reached 79 years. Among developing countries, this is a quite impressive achievement. Looking back, we have full confidence, and looking into the future, we have every reason to believe there will be a brighter future. At the same time, in public health and population development, there are still problems of imbalance and inadequate development, and a lot needs to be done to better meet people's need in terms of accessing medical services and others. So we are promoting the well-rounded development of the people and made the recommendations made further arrangements on public health and population development. In terms of building a healthy China, the following arrangements are made. First, promoting the coordinated development of public health and economic and social development. We'll implement the party's public health work plans in the new era and incorporate health in all policies and let people contribute and share in the benefits. The recommendations set out the strategy of putting health first, improving the policy system of promoting health, increasing the efficacy of the patriotic health campaigns, and increasing the average life expectancy and people's health. That means in the coming 5 years, in planning, in public spending, and in health efficacy, we need to give priority to those areas. Second, coordinating security and development and providing strong safeguards for economic and social development. The recommendations stress the need to enhance public health capacity building to prevent major epidemics, strengthen the comprehensive prevention and control of chronic diseases, and raise the capacity of first aid, blood support, and emergency response. Also, we need to step up mental health and related services. Third, we need to provide equitable, accessible, systematic, continuous, quality, and efficient healthcare services for the people. The recommendations made it clear that we will improve the mechanisms for the coordinated development and governance of healthcare, medical insurance, and the pharmaceutical industry, and promote tiered diagnosis and treatment. We will deepen the reform of public hospitals with a focus on serving public welfare and strengthening operational support for district, county level, and primary level medical institutions. And we will optimize the functional positioning and layout of medical institutions, implement a capacity building project for the healthcare system, and promote the innovation of traditional Chinese medicine. And we will step up the operation support for district, county level, and optimize the functional positioning and layout of medical institutions. We will have a capacity building project for the healthcare system and promote the inheritance and innovation of traditional Chinese medicine and support the development of innovative drugs and medical services. In promoting high-quality population development, we will focus on the following key tasks. First, building a childbearing-friendly society. The recommendations has called for fostering a proactive approach towards marriage and childbearing, optimizing fertility support policies and incentives, leveraging the role of measures such as child-rearing subsidies, expanding pilot subsidy programs for infant and child care services, and also the tax deduction system. We will develop the infant child care and preschool services to lessen the burden of families in raising kids. We will improve and implement maternity insurance and maternity leave systems and enhance health services for women and children. Second, we will ensure well-being for the elderly. We will improve policy mechanisms for the coordinated development of elderly care programs and industries, optimize the supply of basic elderly care services, develop integrated elderly and medical care services, improve the care system for seniors who are disabled or living with dementia, and expand the provision of rehabilitation, nursing, and hospice care services. Third, we will empower the elderly to remain economically active. We will prudently implement a gradual, flexible, and differentiated approach to pushing back the statutory retirement age, optimize policies on age restrictions in employment and social security, actively develop human resources among the elderly, and expand the silver economy. Healthcare efforts must focus on both senior care and maternal and child care. It also needs to provide comprehensive services to the entire population, including prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation, so as to lay a solid foundation of health and population for Chinese modernization. Thank you. Thank you. I now give the floor to Mr. Jiang Jinquan to brief you on enhancing party leadership. Thank you. To uphold and strengthen the overall leadership of the party is the fundamental guarantee for advancing Chinese modernization. The recommendations made a series of strategic arrangements on upholding and strengthening the overall leadership of the party and fostering a political atmosphere of integrity. First, improving the mechanism for implementing the major decisions and arrangements of the Party Central Committee to ensure smooth pass-through of policies and effective implementation on the ground. We will continually unify our thinking, our will and actions with the innovative theories of the party. We will further develop intra-party democracy, improve and implement democratic centralism, and make sure decisions are made on a sound, democratic, and rule of law basis. This is key to keeping to the right direction in development, enhancing synergy for development, effectively responding to various risks and challenges, and ensuring the sound and sustained economic and social development. Second, adhering to the principle of employing the right people, we must give top priority to political criteria, establish and practice a correct view of political achievement, improve the mechanism for assessing and evaluating officials, and transfer those who are incompetent in their current positions. We will promote the normalization of mobility mechanisms for officials to be promoted or demoted. We will strengthen education, training, and practical experience to enhance the capability of officials in driving modernization. By combining strict oversight with care and incentives with constraints, we will stimulate the internal drive and overall vitality of officials. These are effective measures for cultivating and selecting officials who are ready to undertake responsibilities and achieve effectiveness and success, and for motivating officials to demonstrate initiative and creativity. Third, we will advance the development of primary level party organizations in all fields in a coordinated way, enhance their political and organizational functions, and give play to the vanguard and exemplary role of party members. This is an inherent requirement for strengthening the capacity of primary level party organizations in all fields to provide leadership in primary level governance, serve the people, and advance reform and open up. Fourth, we have made unyielding efforts to implement the Central Committee's 8-point decision on conduct, tackled pointless formalities, bureaucratism, hedonism, and extravagance, and fostered regular and long-term mechanisms for improving conduct. We have worked to address pointless formalities to ease the burden on those working on the ground. These are important measures for consolidating and expanding what has been achieved in our efforts to study and implement the Central Committee's 8-point decision, and for rallying public support for development through good conduct. Fifth, we refine the party and state oversight systems and improve tighter norms and oversight over the allocation and operation of power. We demonstrated strong persistence in the fight against corruption on the journey. We will advance our efforts to see that officials do not have the audacity, opportunity, or desire to commit corruption in an integrated manner. We mounted a successful campaign against corruption that was well received, thorough, enduring, and resolute, to make sure there's zero tolerance for corruption. Thank you. The floor is now open to questions. Please identify your media affiliation before asking a question.
中区第二排靠走廊这个。
好的，谢谢主持人，我是中央广播电视总台央视记者。
With CCTV,
现在距离2035年基本实现社会主义现代
there is another 10 years before 2035 when China is expected to have basically realized socialist modernization. There are another 10 years. People have high hopes for that, and there's a lot of attention from within and outside China. In this process, how important are the 5 years of the 15th five-year plan?
这个问题请文秀同志回答。
好。实现社会主义现代化是一个
Realizing socialist modernization is a historic process of gradual and ongoing development. After the 18th Party Congress, under the strong leadership of the Party Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, we have achieved moderate prosperity across China and realized the first centenary goal. The 20th Party Congress laid down a two-step strategy to realize the second centenary goal of building China into a great modern socialist country in all respects. And the first step is to basically realize socialist modernization by 2035. Which requires unrelenting efforts across 3 five-year plan periods, from the 14th to the 16th. The 15th is a crucial period as we work to reinforce the foundations and push ahead on all fronts toward basically achieving socialist modernization. It will serve as a key link between the past and the future. There's only 10 years from now to 2035. We can only have greater initiative if we do a good job in the first 5 years. We must have a sense of urgency and mission, make scientific plans for socio-economic development in the next 5 years, and seize the period of time to reinforce and expand our advantages, break bottlenecks, shore up weak links, and make key breakthroughs in the strategic tasks concerning the overall picture of Chinese modernization. Particularly in the socio-economic development field, we need to reinforce the foundations and push ahead on all fronts. We will strive for major progress in pursuing effective improvement of quality and reasonable growth in quantity in the economic field, fully unleash growth potentials, and strive to move from a middle-income country toward a medium-level developed country. We will strive for major breakthroughs in developing new quality productive forces, speed up fostering new growth drivers, and strengthen new growth engines. We will work to fully upgrade both the supply and demand side structures, improve the people's living standard while promoting consumer spending, and coordinate investment in physical assets and human capital, and shape a growth model that is driven more by domestic demand, consumption, and other internal forces. We will strive for coordinated progress in economic and social development, improve the people's quality of life through high-quality development, and address the pressing needs of the people. In this way, we will expand the space of development through meeting the people's needs. We will strive for major progress in the full green transition in socio-economic development, foster a new type of energy system, build a strong country energy, and deliver on the Beautiful China initiative. We will strive to strengthen domestic economic flow, better connect domestic and international economic circulation, better coordinate development and security, and underpin the new development paradigm with a new security paradigm. To meet the people's expectations, to navigate the changing international landscape, it is vital to focus on managing our own affairs and remain steadfast in promoting high-quality development and in comprehensively deepening reform and expanding high-standard opening up. Certainty in our own high-quality development is the best response to the uncertainty in the changing external environment. It is the key to seizing the strategic initiative in the intense international competition and sustaining the twin miracles of rapid economic growth and long-term social stability on the new journey of the new era. Thank you.
好，继续提问。近端这位先生，第一排。
谢谢。香港大公文汇传媒记者。
Hong Kong Taikong Wenwei. This year is the last year for implementing the 14th five-year plan. Now, how about the implementation of the tasks and objectives in the plan? Can you give us more information? I'll have Mr. Jiang Jingquan to take this question. Thank you. The 14th five-year plan period is the first 5 years of the new journey to build a modern socialist country in all respects, which has marked a momentous and extraordinary period in our country's development. The CPC Central Committee, with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, has united and the entire party and the Chinese people of all ethnic groups and led them in meeting challenges head-on and forging ahead with determination. This has allowed us to withstand the severe shocks from a once-in-a-century COVID-19 pandemic, respond effectively to many major risks and challenges, and secured significant achievements in the cause of the party and the country. The recommendations reviewed the achievements from 11 areas, and let me give you a brief account. First, the economy made progress while maintaining stability, and solid steps have been taken in pursuing high-quality development. This has been covered by the previous colleagues. But the Chinese economy continues to take the lead among major economies. We expect that this year, China's GDP will reach 140 trillion RMB. So years ago, we crossed the 100, 110, 120, 130 trillion marks, and our per capita will exceed the world average. China remains a key engine driving world economic growth. And I would say that China's economy is thriving with unparalleled momentum. Second, sci-tech innovation has produced fruitful outcomes and new quality productive forces are growing steadily. The percentage of total R&D spending and basic research spending both reached a record high. We have more than 500,000 high-tech companies, and China is now home to 26 of the world's top 100 science and technology innovation clusters. Third, we further advanced comprehensively deepening reform and steadily widened high-standard opening up. The institutional and systemic obstacles holding back high-quality development are being removed. New systems for a higher standard open economy are taking shape at a faster pace. High-quality Belt and Road cooperation is making solid progress. The development of free trade zones is gaining speed. All these provide new opportunities and new space for economic and social development. China is a firm supporter and promoter of economic globalization. Fourth, solid progress has been made in ensuring and improving people's well-being, with the achievements in poverty alleviation being consolidated and expanded. More than 12 million urban jobs are created annually, and residents' income have grown in step with economic growth. The world's largest education, healthcare, and social security systems have been further enhanced. The retention rate of 9-year compulsory education, along with the coverage rate of basic old age insurance and basic medical insurance has all reached approximately 95%. Fifth, the transition to green and low-carbon economy has accelerated, leading to continuous improvement in ecological and environmental quality. China has established the world's largest carbon emission trading market and clean power supply system. Water consumption per 10,000 yuan of GDP dropped to 50 cubic meters, and the forest coverage rate across the country has increased to over 25%. The country has contributed 1/4 of the world's new green coverage. The proportion of days with good air quality remains stable at around 87%, reinforcing the green foundation of our development. Now China is emerging as a global leader in green development. Sixth, national security capabilities have been effectively enhanced and the efficacy of social governance has increased. Grain output has remained stable at over 650 million metric tons, while ensuring stable energy supply and mitigating related risks have been strengthened. The resilience and security of industrial and supply chains have improved steadily, and critical progress has been made in the battle to prevent and diffuse financial risks. China has become one of the countries with the lowest crime rate and the highest sense of public security in the world. The vision of a safe China has become a reality. Furthermore, whole process people's democracy was advanced, and the law-based governance of China was implemented effectively. Cultural endeavors in the cultural industry flourished, offering a diverse range of intellectual and cultural products. Major strides were made in national defense and military development. The practice of one country, two systems was deepened. Diplomacy with distinctive Chinese features was fully expanded. The party's self-governance was enforced fully and rigorously with notable success, as the fight against corruption intensified and the party's creativity, cohesion, and leadership capability were significantly enhanced. The major achievements have laid a solid foundation for development during the 15th five-year plan period. These achievements are possible because we have the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, taking the helm and steering the course, and the sound guidance of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. During the 15th five-year plan period, as long as we acquire a deep understanding of the decisive significance of establishing Comrade Xi Jinping's core position on the Party Central Committee and in the party as a whole, rally more closely around Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, keep to the right direction, follow sound principles, promote pioneer spirit to confront challenges, and seize the historic initiative, we will be able to continue open up new prospects for Chinese modernization. Thank you.
第二排，郭男士。
您好，俄通塔斯社记者。
With TASS News Agency,
科技方面的投入不断增
China
长。
has kept increasing its input in science and technology and has made fast progress in AI.
人工智能方面有什么目标？
What are China's targets in developing AI?
研发
And how do you
投入得到
ensure
高效利
the
用？
effective use of R&D investment?
这个请何军同志回答。
Mr. Ying Hejun will take this
谢谢你的提
question.
问。
Well, thank you for your question.
我听下来你是两个问题，
You asked
一个是
two
关于科技
questions.
投入，
One is about
一个是
scientific
关于人工智能。
investment, and the other is about AI.
关于科技投入，
On scientific
重视和加
investment,
强科技投入，
prioritizing and
世
increasing
界各
scientific
国的普
input
遍共识，
is
尤其是发达国家。
a common understanding of all
中国政府也高度
countries,
重视。
developed ones in particular. The Chinese government also attaches great importance to it. Since the 18th
无论
Party
是总量
Congress,
还是强度，都实现了快速
China
增长
has made fast progress in the total
我们
volume
坚持
and
四个面
intensity
向
of scientific input.
发挥
We
新
have
兴
adopted
的
a
体制优势，
four-pronged approach, leveraged the
助
system
力
of
提
mobilizing
升科
resources
技投入的
nationwide
效能。
to make scientific investment more
一是聚
effective.
焦国家战略需
First,
求，
we have
加强科技资源的
strengthened resources coordination to meet the
来
needs
重
of
点
national
行业和
strategies.
领域，
In
这是
key
一批
sectors and
重大科
areas,
技
we
项
have
目
implemented a number of major
加
scientific
强关
projects
键核心技术攻关，
and pushed for breakthroughs
不断
in
提
core
高
technologies in
基
key
础研
fields.
究投入比重，
We have increased input in basic
鼓励原
research
始创新，
and
对
encouraged
高质量
original
发展提
innovation
供
to
科技。
provide support to
二
high-quality
是坚
development.
持多元投入，
Second, we have
增加
diversified
科技
input
资源供
and
应，
increased the supply of scientific
持续
resources.
加强财政，
We have
科技投入，
further raised fiscal input,
激励企业
encouraged
加大研发投入，
enterprises to increase R&D investment,
大力发展科技金融，
developed scientific financing,
鼓励引导社会资本
and
支
encouraged
持科技创新。
private investment in innovation.
三是强化
Third,
监督管理，
We have enhanced supervision management and performance evaluation to ensure the effective use of
不
resources.
断加强科技经费的监
We
管，
have strengthened the supervision of scientific
健
funding,
全科技活动分类评价，
optimized the categorized
推动
evaluation
科技资
system,
源开放共享，
and promoted the sharing
让
of
宝贵的
scientific
科技资
resources
源发挥最
so
大
that
的效益。
their
关于人工
effects
智
can
能
be maximized. On AI,
中国政府高度
the Chinese
重视人工
government
智能
attaches great importance to the development of
持续
AI
营造良好的创新生
and has
态，
made sustained efforts to
推动
create
人
a
工智能
conducive
加速发展。
innovation ecology for faster
这是
development
人
of
工
AI.
智能科技创新不
First,
断取得新突破，
new breakthroughs have been made in AI
持续加强
innovation.
人工智能战略研究
We have strengthened strategic research and technological development of AI
人形机器人等领
in
域，
large-scale AI models and humanoid
具有国
robots.
际影响力的
We
创
have
新成
yielded outcomes of international
二是人工
influence.
智能产业规模和质
Second,
量。
the industrial
快速提
scale and
升。
quality of AI has grown
截至
rapidly.
2024年底，
By the end of
人工
2024,
智能企业总数
the number of AI
超过
enterprises has been over
产业的规模不断
4,500.
壮大，
As the
特别
industry
是协同创新
expands,
的产业生态正
an
在加速。
industrial ecology of coordinated innovation is being formed at a faster pace. Third,
赋能经济社会发
AI
展
has greatly
重要性
empowered economic and social
人工智
development.
能加以深入
AI
制造
Plus has
金
been
融
deeply
医疗等重
integrated
点行
in
业领域
manufacturing, finance, healthcare, and other important sectors, becoming new growth
下一
engines.
步
Moving forward, we will earnestly implement the decisions and plans of the recommendations and step up efforts on the top-level design and systematic planning of AI in a 15th five-year plan period. First, we will strengthen basic research and push for breakthroughs in core technologies in key fields, focus on new algorithms and chips with high-end computing resources to consolidate the foundation of AI development. Second, we will implement the AI Plus action, promote the integration of AI with technological innovation, industrial development, consumption upgrading, and people's welfare. Third, we will strengthen AI governance, improve relevant laws, regulations, policies, institutes, application rules, and ethics, and optimize the governance mechanisms. Fourth, we will promote international exchanges and cooperation and make AI an international public good that benefits all. We will work together to build a global AI governance system to meet global challenges together. Thank you.
中区第3排这位女士。
With Economic Daily, in recent years, China has become a key engine of global economic growth, and there's wide interest in the prospects of the Chinese economy. The recommendations underlined improving the efficacy of macroeconomic governance and implementing more proactive macro policies. How will you coordinate the policies on industry, regional development, consumption, and investment in the 15th five-year plan period so that macro policies work in a consistent direction and create a synergy for high-quality development? Thank you for the question. This is something that we're thinking about all the time. During the 15th five-year plan period, we will earnestly implement the recommendations on macroeconomic governance and perform our duty as a Department of Macro Management and Economic Policy Coordination. We will focus on 3 priority areas, strengthen overall coordination and balance, and ensure that the macro policies work in the same direction and form synergy. First, expand policy space. During the 14th five-year plan period, China's GDP broke the threshold of 100 trillion yuan in 2020, and then climbed another few steps. And this year, like Mr. Jiang Jingquan said just now, China's GDP is expected to reach around 140 trillion yuan this year. There has been a constant increase of quality output and an accumulation of quality asset. General Secretary Xi Jinping vividly compared the Chinese economy to a big ocean. There is broad space for macroeconomic governance in China. During the 15th five-year plan period, we will make full use of the strength of the Chinese economy, expand the space of macro policies, and strengthen the synergy between the flow of people, goods, capital, and information. We will fully leverage existing resources, improve the quality of growth, and raise efficiency to address various risks and challenges more effectively. Second, apply new tools of governance. During the 14th five-year plan period, under the scientific guidance of Xi Jinping's thought on the economy, government departments have worked closer together and strengthened coordination among fiscal, monetary, industrial, investment, employment, consumption, price, and regional policies, gaining rich experience. During the 15th five-year plan period, we will act on the principles set out in the recommendations, apply new policy tools, improve government behavior, prevent inappropriate intervention, and fully leverage the role of market mechanisms. We will take market-oriented and law-based actions in a flexible and timely way. Where market fails, we will curb the race to the bottom type of price wars and serious defaults of corporate payments. The purpose is to ensure both a vibrant market and good government regulation. At the same time, we will find new ways and methods of work, deliver a combo effect in major strategies, plans, reforms, policies, and projects. Communicate properly with micro-entities and the general public to address their questions and doubts, ensure that policies respond to the call of the market, and smoothen the last mile of policy implementation to make policies effective and accessible. Third, strengthen consistency in the orientation of macro policies. There is a lot of interest in the assessment of consistency of macro policy orientations. We will continue this work on the new policies during the 15th five-year plan period, strengthen the synergy between economic and non-economic policies, and enhance consistency between non-economic policies in the areas of different fields. Meanwhile, existing policies will also be included in the assessment. We will choose existing policies in some areas regularly to be assessed. Those that are inconsistent with the macro policy orientation will undergo timely adjustment, suspension, revocation, or termination in accordance with procedures, so as to improve the overall efficacy of macroeconomic governance. Thank you.
好，继续提问。中区第一排这位女士。
Beijing time. Many families, they have elderly and children who need medical service, and there are also families and friends traveling all the way to big cities. And people want to access good quality medical services in their own communities and cities. So during the 14th five-year plan period, what new measures will be taken in this regard? Well, thank you for this question. I think this is a question on the minds of many people. This is also the goal for our future work in the 15th five-year plan period. For the next 5 years, in keeping with the research and based on our comprehensive national strength, our goal is that to extend the average life expectancy from 79 to 80, to around 80. So this would be important in meeting people's wish for a better life. It will be a hallmark and a reflection of the high-quality development on all fronts, and we are confident about realizing that goal. And to do that, we need to make the following efforts. First, the service, the direction should be shifted toward a health-centered approach, aiming to reduce the incidence of illness and improve public health. We encourage the government at all levels, the whole society, and individuals to embrace the principle of putting prevention first. Health priority should be established as a top goal in economic and social development. We will enhance the department coordination and efficient service regulation guided by health promotion. The Healthy China Initiative and the Patriotic Health Campaign will be vigorously carried out. We will develop family doctor service and raise people's awareness so that people's health literacy will rise gradually and our knowledge about health can be accessible or can be disseminated to every household, and every person will take the initiative in protecting health. The dangerous factors need to be controlled and contained. The factors like weight, blood pressure, blood fat, and pressure, blood pressure, all needs to be managed and paid attention to, and so as to have a healthier life. And second, the service model will emphasize a seamless continuum of care to reduce the incidence of severe illness and ensure timely recovery. We'll focus on chronic diseases such as cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases, cancer, chronic respiratory diseases, and diabetes. And we will improve the service system for early screening, diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation. We will strengthen the simultaneous prevention, treatment, and management of multiple diseases. In terms of prevention, there will be more targeted intervention, and we'll have a multidisciplinary cross-area cooperation, and we need to have continuous service. In terms of management, we need to have long-term health checkups so that there will be an integrated system to meet people's needs for easier access to medical service. We need to reconfigure within hospitals and between hospitals. We will have the re-diagnosis and referral mechanism so that the professionals can better help the patients plan the procedure of visiting a doctor. And third, the healthcare system service will emphasize public welfare and equity to make medical services more accessible and more efficient. The suggestions contain that we need to have a coordinated development of healthcare, health insurance, and the pharmaceutical industry. We will promote the experience from Sanmin of Fujian. So the model is defined by a reform philosophy. They have 4 pieces of experience. The first one is a reform philosophy of upholding party leadership, maintaining public welfare, and adhering to a people-centered stance, and a reform style of confronting challenges head-on with determined innovation, and a reform rhythm of adapting to local conditions and pursuing continuous iteration and upgrading, and closely aligning with local socio-economic development to provide appropriate services and sustainable protection for the people. So these 4 pieces of experience would be very important and highly relevant for the different localities to draw upon. And for first, second tier, and primary level medical institutions, we have also been improving the system. We have been studying the Tier 2 medical institution. The focus will be on directing personnel and services to the grassroots level, fostering supportive collaboration between institutions at all levels, and enhance the competence of conduct of healthcare teams. These efforts will drive more significant progress towards the goal of ensuring that major illnesses are treated within the province and minor ailments are addressed in primary care settings. So more progress will be made in the tiered medical institution structure.
远端的第3排 这位男士。
Thank you. Market News International. During the 14th five-year period, foreign direct investment growth slowed down. In which areas will the 15th five-year plan further expand openness and attract foreign investment? Thank you.
美国国际市场新闻社记者提问：““15+5”期间，外商直接投资增长放缓，请问“15+5”规划将在哪些方面进一步扩大开放和吸引外资？”
文涛同志回答。
好，谢谢你的提问。
Well, thank you for your question.
今年3月呢
In March this
习近平
year,
总书记在会见国
when
际工商
meeting
界
with
代表时，
representatives of the
充分
international
肯
business
定了外资
community,
的重要作用，
General Secretary Xi
表明
Jinping
中国
fully
扩大开
recognized the
放的
important role of
坚
foreign
定决心。
investment and stressed China's
从
firm
实数
commitment
看，
to
中国利用外
expanding
资
opening up.
一个
In a
是量
14th five-year plan period, in
实际
terms of
使用外
China's
资累
use of
计
foreign investment,
7200多亿美
the first
元。
feature is a stable
其实
volume.
外
The
企
volume of
24
paid
万
foreign
国家
investment is over
影子大国的地位
720 billion US dollars in cumulative terms,
20
and
呢
an
只有
addition of
高技术产业影子
240,000
占比
foreign
超过
companies were
1/3
set up. China has
汽车
remained a major destination
医
of
疗
foreign investment.
健康
The second
电子
feature is
信
high
息
quality.
等
High-tech
一大批
industries
标志性的
attracted
项
over
目在
1/3
华
of
落
foreign
户。
investment.
大
A
部
number
分
of
是在地区组织和
landmark
研发
projects
中
in
心呢
auto,
有明
healthcare,
显
and
增多。
telecommunication sectors were launched in China, and a great number of
我要说的是
transnational companies
下一步
have placed their headquarters and
我们开放
R&D
也好
centers in China.
影子也
Moving
好
forward, whether it is about opening up
省人力
or
气
attracting
零和
investment,
博弈
we will
那
not
一套
engage in zero-sum
而是互
games
利
that
共赢
serve no one's
共同
interest,
发展
but will pursue win-win
我们主要
cooperation
从
and common
2方面
development.
发力。
We will mainly work
一
on
方
two
面要把
fronts.
中国大市场的
First,
优势
We will
充分
fully
地发挥
harness
出
the
来。
strengths of China's
中国
vast
现
market.
有14亿多人口，
China has a
未来
population of
10多年
over
中等收入
1.4
平均将
billion,
超过
and
8
this
亿。
middle-income group
市场
will be
潜力
larger
巨
than
大。
800 million in over
我们
10
将
years.
大力
This
提
means
升消
great
费，
market potential.
打造
We will
购在中
vigorously
国品
boost
牌，
consumption,
让
advance
商
the
品和
initiative
服务消
of
费
shopping in China,
都火起来。
and invigorate
我们
consumption
将
of
加快
both
发展
goods
新
and
的生产力，
services. We will
促进
develop new quality
人工智
productive
能、
forces at a
生物科
faster
技、
pace,
新能源
promote the
等产
development
业
of
发展，
AI, biotechnology, and new
让
energy
中国的大
to
市场
turn China's
成为
vast
全球
market
创新的
into
试验场、
a
应用场，
test
也
field
是利润场。
and application
我们将
field
加
of
快建设
innovation
高
that
标准市场
generates
体系，
profit.
坚持
We will build
市
high
场化、
standard
法
market
治化、
system,
国际
foster
化的
a
方向，
world-class business
打造
environment
国际一流
that is
营商环境。
market-oriented, law-based,
许
and
多跨国公司
internationalized.
告诉我们，
Many transnational companies
投资中国
told us that they
不是
believe
可选项。
investing China
而
is
是
not
必选
just an option, but a default
另一方面，
option.
要让中国大市场
Second,
成为全
we
球
will
的
turn China's vast
大机遇。
market into great
我们常说，
opportunities for the world.
这个外企啊，
We often
不是
say
外
that
客
foreign companies are
而是
not
我们一家人。
guests, but members of our
中国
family.
超大规模市场也
China's
是外
vast
企的
market
机遇。
also means
比如
opportunities
在
for foreign
我们
companies.
实施的
For example,
这个以旧换新啊，以汽车为
in
例，
the trading programs
全
for
面落实国民待遇，
automobiles, we have
外资
fully
品牌的销
implemented
量是
national
占
treatment.
汽
The
车
sales
以
of
旧
foreign
换新的
invested
3分之一。
brands accounted for
我们
1/3
将按
of
照
the
宜
total.
早不宜迟、宜
We
快
will
不
make
宜慢的
early
要求，
rather
进一
than
步降
late
低
and
市场
fast rather than
准入
slow
门槛。
progress, and further lower the
服务业
access
接
threshold.
下来是开放的重
The
点。
opening up of the service sector will
要
be a
扩大
priority,
增值电信、
and we
生
will
物技术、
expand
外商独自医院等开放试
opening
点，
up
有
pilots
序
in
扩大教育文化领域迅
telecommunication,
速开放。
biotechnology, and
我们将
completely foreign
持续优
invested
化服务，
hospitals, and open the
办好
education and
外
culture
企
sectors
研讨会。
wider. We will continue to
把
improve
企业的
services,
需求
hold
清单
roundtables
变
for
成我
foreign
们的
companies,
服务清
turn
单，
the list of needs
擦亮
by foreign
投资
companies
中
into
国
our
的
list
品
of
牌，
services, burnish the
让
credentials
外
of
资
invest
企
in
业
China,
愿意来，
so that foreign
留得住
investors want
发
to
展
come
好
to China, will stay in
共享
China,
中国
and can
发
grow
展
well in
新机
China,
遇。
and share China's development
这几天
opportunities.
这个大家都比较关注啊，经美这个中美的经贸问题。
The economic and trade relationship between China and the
习近平
U.S.
总
has
书记强调，
attracted
对
wide
话
attention,
和合
as has
作
been stressed by
是
General
中美
Secretary Xi
唯一
Jinping.
正确的选择。
Dialogue and cooperation is the
中国
only
作为
right choice
负责
for
任
China
大
and the
国，
U.S.
一
As a
直
responsible
反对的
major
是
country, China has always
脱钩断链，
opposed decoupling or
坚定
disrupting
维护的
industrial and
是
supply chains,
全
and
球产
firmly
供链的
upheld
safe and stable global industrial and supply chains. The 4 rounds of China-US economic and trade consultations fully prove that on the basis of mutual respect and equal consultation, China and the US can find a solution to address each other's concerns, a correct way of coexistence, and ensure the sound, steady, and sustained development of China-US relations. Thank you. Next question, please.
远端第1排这位女士。
谢谢。浙江日报潮新闻提问。
With
我们知道，
Zhejiang
科技
Daily
创新引领新质生产力的
To
发展，
steer the development of new
是党中央提出的重大
quality
举措，
productive
也是
forces
15
with science-tech
部署的重
innovation
点
is a
内容。
significant
想
measure of the
下一步
CPC
在
Central
培育和
Committee
发展
and an
新质生
important
产力
part
方
of the
面
15th
有什么样的
five-year
考虑
plan
和部
period.
署？
In fostering and developing new quality productive forces, what will be the main considerations and
谢
plans?
谢你的提问。
Well, thank you for your question.
科技创新能够催生
Science-tech
新产
innovation
业
can boost new
新模式
industries,
新动能
new models, and new growth
发展新
drivers.
质生产力的核心要
It
素。
is a core part of developing new quality
打
productive
到20届
forces.
四中全会
The fourth plenum of
对
the
科技
20th
创
CPC
新
Central
引领
Committee
发展新质生
has
产力
laid out
做出明确
clear
的部署
planning for steering the development of new quality productive forces with science-tech innovation. In a 15th five-year plan period, we'll vigorously implement the strategy of innovation-driven development, make faster progress in major science-tech innovation
促进
tasks,
科技创新和产业创
deeply
新深度
integrate
融合
technological and
助
industrial
力提升
innovation,
全要素生产
and
率，
raise total
为
factor
发展新质生
productivity
产力
to
实现高质量发展
provide
注入强大
strong
的动力。
impetus to developing new quality productive
一
forces
是
and
持续
realizing
增加
high quality
高质量的
development.
科技供应，
First, we will continue to increase high
统筹
quality
国家
science-tech
战略
supply.
和
We will
经济社会
coordinate
发展
national
需求，
strategy and economic and
加快
social
布局
development
实施
needs, move
国家重大
faster
科
to
技项目，
deploy and implement major
有
national
组织推
science-tech
进
projects,
战略导向的基础研究，
advance basic research of
强化
strategic
关键
importance
贡献
in an
技术，
organized manner,
先沿
strengthen
应用技
innovation
术
of critical
现代
generic
工程技
technology,
术
frontier
和电子
technology,
技术的创
modern
新，
engineering technology, and
加强科技
disruptive
基础条
technology.
件，
Strengthen the guarantee of basic
推动
scientific
国家战
conditions
略
at
科技
home,
力量，
coordinate
系统联动，
national strategic
加
scientific
快产
strength,
出一批
and step up
重大
efforts to produce a
标志
number
性
of
原创
major
技术。
landmark innovative
二
outcomes.
是支撑现代化产业
Second,
体系
we
建
will
设，
support the development of a modern
统筹
industrial
科技
system.
创新和
We
产
will
业发展，
coordinate technological innovation
推动
and
创新
industrial
链
innovation,
产业链无缝对接，
promote seamless synergy of
在
innovation
新一代
and
信息技
industrial
术、
chains,
人工智能等领域，
nurture
壮大一批新
emergent
兴产业，
sectors in such fields as
在
new
量子
generation
科技、
communication technology
生物
and
科技
AI,
等领域，
develop
布局建设未来
sectors of the future in such
抢占
areas as
未来
quantum
科技
technology and
和产业的制
biotechnology,
高点，
and take a
积极
leading
运用
position in
信息技术
technologies and industries of the
改造
future.
提升
We will
传统
use
产业，
digital technology to
推动
transform
产业
and upgrade traditional
向智能
industries
化、
and
绿色化、
promote
融合发展。
smart and green transformation of industries
三
toward
是全
higher
面深
ends.
化科技体制
Third,
改革，
we will comprehensively deepen institutional reform. We will enhance policy coordination
与财税
and promote synergy
金融、
between science and technology
产业、
and taxation,
教育、
finance,
人才
industry,
等高效性，
education, and human resources.
健全重大科技任务的组
We
织
will
体系
improve the organization mechanism of
科技
major
力量、
science-tech
创
tasks
新资源、
and
人才队伍
promote
体系化、
systemic,
建制化、
institutionalized, and coordinated development of science and
强化企业科技
technology,
创新
innovation
组织
resources,
能力
and the workforce.
加
We
快
will
培育
reinforce the
壮大
principal role of
科技领
enterprises in innovation and move faster
深化
to nurture leading
中
high-tech
科技成
companies.
果
We will
赋权
deepen
和
reform
资产
of
管理
ownership of job-related science-tech
建立
outcomes and
科技
separate
创
asset
新、
management.
产业发
We
展
will establish
和国家战略
a
需求牵引的
discipline adjustment mechanism and talent nurturing model on the basis of the needs of science-tech innovation, industrial development, and national strategy. We will put in place a science-tech financial system conducive to innovation. Fourth, we will develop new quality productive forces tailored to local specialties. We will strengthen the macro guidance and coordination of local science-tech innovation and industrial planning so that localities will forge science-tech capabilities and industrial features based on their resource endowment and realize differentiated development. We will enhance cross-region innovation and industrial coordination, develop world-class industrial clusters. We will encourage localities where conditions are in place to carry out institutional innovation for integrated science-tech and industrial innovation and form cradles of original innovation and hubs of science-tech innovation.
Thank you very much. With Brasil de Fato. With the five-year poverty reduction consolidation period ending in 2025, what specific targets and long-term mechanisms will the 15th five-year plan establish to prevent large-scale relapse into poverty? And how will the government transition from emergency monitoring to a regular long-term supporting system for vulnerable areas? Thank you very much. 非常感谢。
真实巴西媒体集团，随着巩固拓展脱贫攻坚成果的5年过渡期于2025年结束，“15-5”规划将设置哪些具体目标，建立哪些长期机制，防止发生规模性返贫致贫？政府将如何建立对欠发达地区的常态化长期帮扶体系？
好，这个问题请文秀同志回答。
好，谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for the question. After the 18th Party Congress, under the strong leadership of the Party Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, we have won an unprecedented victory against poverty and eliminated absolute poverty. It was a miracle that will go down in human history and made enormous contribution to global poverty reduction and provided confidence and a sample for global South countries seeking to get rid of poverty. We allocated a 5-year period from 2021 to 2025 to transition from poverty alleviation consolidation to rural revitalization, which helps solidifying and sustaining the results of poverty alleviation. The 15th five-year plan period is a new stage as the transition period ends and normalized support begins. The fourth plenum proposed establishing regularized mechanisms to prevent relapse into poverty. It means to serve the overarching task of Chinese modernization, we will provide normalized support as part of the rural revitalization strategy to ensure zero occurrence of massive relapse into poverty. Specifically, we will first establish and improve the policy system of regularized support. The policy system in the 5-year transition period has proved strong and effective. From now on, we will keep the system stable in general and make small readjustments. The policies on fiscal input, financial support, and resource allocation will remain largely stable. The responsibility will remain on 5 levels of party secretaries. Practices that worked will continue, including East-West collaboration and paired assistance from departments of the central government. And there will be appropriate fine-tuning in light of real situations to increase policy efficacy. Second, we will support accelerated development in underdeveloped regions. These regions are the main theater for preventing impoverishment. During the transition period, the central government identified 160 key support recipient counties for the sake of rural revitalization, and provincial governments also designated their own priority recipients. Going forward, we will continue giving long-term support to underdeveloped regions, with the central and provincial governments taking responsibilities at different levels and providing multi-tiered and categorized support. We will help grow industries that make the people rich, develop county-level economies, and improve infrastructure and public services in rural areas so as to further narrow the urban-rural gap and strengthen the base for preventing poverty. Third, monitor the need for support in more timely and targeted way. People say that fortune is fickle. In case major diseases or natural disasters hit, we will identify, intervene, and support the rural households in need at an early time and provide targeted, timely relief. We will set up and strengthen regularized monitoring systems, identify relief recipients with precision, and make regular adjustment in light of the changing situation. Those who have the ability to work will be given better industrial and employment support so that they can make a good living on their own. Those who do not will be given social aid and other supporting measures to ensure their basic livelihood. We must see that people in the rural areas live better lives and embrace the better future of Chinese modernization together. Thank you. In the interest of time, we will take one more question. With China Daily. Mr. Zheng Shanjie just shared the objectives and tasks for building a modern industrial system in the 15th five-year plan period. When it comes to the green transition of key industries and low-carbon transition of the energy mix, what specific measures will be introduced? Since you referred to Mr. Zheng Shanjie, I will have him answer your question. Thank you for the question. At the UN Climate Change Summit last month, General Secretary Xi Jinping announced to the world China's new round of nationally determined contributions, or NDCs. The recommendations addressed the accelerated green transition in all respects of social economic development and industrial and energy transition, which you mentioned, is a top priority. How to realize green transition faster? Our understanding is that we should be driven by the carbon peaking and carbon neutrality targets and speed up 4 areas of work. First, build and implement faster a dual control system that limits both carbon emissions aggregate and intensity. This dual system applied to the energy consumption. Now it applies to carbon emissions. This is the master control. The recommendations proposed a steady implementation of systems like subnational carbon assessment, sectorial carbon control, corporate carbon management, project-specific carbon evaluation, and product-specific carbon print, and to establish and strengthen a system of incentives and restrictions that covers all types of entities. Second, speed up green and low-carbon energy transition. This is the key leverage. We will build faster a new type of energy system. The goal is to meet all new electricity demand with new power generation from clean energy. More green electricity will be transmitted across mountains and seas to power up the whole country. We will focus on 3 areas of work. First, we will develop non-fossil fuels more vigorously, build clean energy bases faster across the country, wind and solar power in the northwest, hydropower in the southwest, wind power on the sea, and nuclear power on the coast, and develop new energies like biomass, geothermal, and ocean energy. Secondly, we will promote clean and efficient use of fossil fuels and turn coal-fired power from a basic underpinning source into a supportive and adjustable source. Third, we will build a new type of electrical system more swiftly to ensure that green electricity is easy to generate, transmit, and utilize. Third, speed up green and low-carbon transition of the industrial mix we will improve the quality of the economy by making industries greener. On the one hand, we will do additions by growing green low-carbon industries more quickly. According to our estimation, China today has a green and low-carbon industry of about 11 trillion yuan. There is space for this number to double, if not more, in the next 5 years. Particularly during the 15th five-year plan period, we will strive to build around 100 national zero-carbon industrial parks, which will bring enormous space for green industries. On the other hand, we will do subtractions by conserving energy and decarbonizing in key industries. We will take special action to conserve energy and cut emissions in key industries like steel, non-ferrous metals, petrochemicals, and chemical industry, and strive to conserve more than 150 million tons of standard coal and cut CO2 emissions by about 400 million tons. Fourth, speed up green and low-carbon transition in the way of work and life. This is directly concerned with all of us, every one of us, and this is the key to a full green transition. On the way of work, we will further advance clean production, carry out massive upgrade of facilities, vigorously develop the circular economy, and strive to bring the annual use of large solid waste to around 4.5 billion tons by 2030. At the same time, we will speed up energy-saving renovations of buildings and utilities and increase the share of railway and waterway use in cargo transport. On the way of life, we will carry out a nationwide green and low-carbon campaign, advocate the conservation of food, water, and electricity, as well as domestic waste sorting, and promote a green and low-carbon way of life and production. Encouraging people to build a beautiful home and a beautiful China through a green way of life. Thank you, presenters, and thank you, all the friends on media. And that concludes the press conference today. Thank you.
That was a press conference held by the 20th CPC Central Committee. Now, for more insight, we're joined in the studio by Mr. Chu Chiang and Mr. Zhou Mi. Thank you very much for joining us, gentlemen. So now the key focus is on this communique from this crucial plenum of the CPC Central Committee. Now, new quality productive forces is one of the key terms this time, Mr. Chu. And we also noticed that the communique has called for greater self-reliance and strength in science and technology. What links the two?
Well, Pandeng, actually, I think this is actually a great point because we understand the most important outstanding thing that's been lining out in this plenum is about the new quality productive forces have been putting into the next 5 years development plan. And also, it's been tied very closely together with the technology, with their self-reliance, because only with the development with independent and the self-reliant technology, we can achieve this high-quality development, and hence we can have the high-quality modernization of China. This is actually very important, is because currently, if we really want to have this quality life for the future of China, for the future of Chinese people, we need the technology. Only with the technology seizing the commanding height and with independent IPR, we can actually create lots of the supplies. And with the quality supply, we can create the quality demand, quality jobs. It's like what we have already seen with the mobile internet, with the 5G technologies, with the green energies. We created a huge market, huge jobs, and also translated into people's income, people's quality of life and quality modernization. And I think second point is that we really need national security because we are having a turbulent world right now. Geopolitical conflicts and all kinds of things is trying to choke your neck. And with such a large country, with such a huge population, if we cannot stand up on our own technology, if we will always be choked on our own neck, we probably wouldn't guarantee the safety of our people's life, not mentioning you're talking about equality. And last but not least, with all these kind of the development, we can actually provide a new standard, new path for human being as a one community with shared fate, especially for the whole global South nations. I mean, this is a window of opportunities. When China crossed the threshold from the middle income nation to a higher income nation, probably by the year 2035, we're going to be a middle development nation. And I think this is a window for us, hand in hand with global South nation, together to build this new standard, marching towards the new height.
That's right. And what about balance, both on a supply and demand side? Mr. Zhou, we noticed that the communique stressed the building of a robust domestic market and working faster on a new pattern of development. What's your reading into this?
I think it's a very important kind of idea because China is an important country. We have a very huge population. I mean, in the coming 5 years, maybe the population will be becoming older, but we have to deal with the change. I think that one of the main function of China is not just trying to export the goods to other partners, but also to import a lot of things from other countries. So in this regard, I would say China will be more diversified in different regions. Different kind of people are having different demand, and we will be one of the main, the power in the world and in the international trade, in the trading goods and the trading services. And it's very hopeful for all of us to benefit from that.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Zhou Mi and Mr. Chu Qiang there. And that's it for this edition of The World Today on CGTN. I'm Pan Zheng in Beijing. Stay tuned with CGTN on Global Watch.